Madam Vice President, Excellencies and distinguished delegates, it is a pleasure for me to address this high-level segment of the 61st session of the Human Rights Council. I bring you warm greetings from the government and the people of South Africa. We are honored by the renewed trust that member states placed in South Africa through its re-election to the Council, whose 20th anniversary we mark this year. We are concerned about the attack on multilateralism, the unpredictable geopolitical dynamics, and the erosion of the rules-based international order. In this complex environment, South Africa remains firmly committed to a constructive dialogue and the defense of universal core values. Madam Vice President, as the year 2026 marks the 25th anniversary of the Durban Declaration and the Programme of Action, we embrace this moment not only as a commemoration, but as a renewed call to action. In 2025, the African Union member states reviewed the progress towards the attainment of a long overdue justice and reparations following decades of colonialism, apartheid, slavery, the slave trade, and the transatlantic slave trade. We remain seized with this matter. Building on our successful presidency of the G20 in 2025, we continue to advance the priorities of the Global South. Notable, the implementation of the recommendations of the report of the G20 Extraordinary Committee on Global Inequality. We are working with our international partners towards launching the International Panel on Inequality. Madam Vice President, the world is currently experiencing a concerning rise of extreme poverty. Poverty is both a cause and consequence of violence of economic, social, and cultural rights, and it has gendered face that is a face of women and girls. In order to mitigate this troubling trend, South Africa will use its current membership of the Council to advance and heighten our efforts to promote and protect the enjoyment of the economic, social, and cultural rights. We will use our membership to combat all forms of discrimination, including the scourge of racism, racial discrimination, and to advance women's empowerment and gender equality, the rights of persons with disabilities, sexual orientation, gender identity and expression, and the rights of the child. We will continue our efforts to advance the elaboration of legal binding instruments on private military and security companies and on transnational corporations and other business enterprises. For us, it remains of critical importance that accountability measures and effective remedies should be in place whenever or wherever these entities violate or abuse human rights. The current gap should be filled. We reaffirm the importance of inclusiveness and the important role of civil society in the work of the Council and broader global efforts at promoting and protecting human rights. We remain concerned about the continuing shrinking civil space across the globe. We reiterate the intrinsic link between human rights, development, and peace and security. This nexus underpins South Africa's approach and involvement in conflict resolutions across the globe and our continent. This includes our call in Sudan, more especially given the genocide as highlighted by the fact-finding mission and the African Commission on Human and People's Rights, together with South Sudan as part of advancing the Agenda 2063, the Africa's agenda of silencing the guns, the Africa we want. South Africa reiterates our unwavering support and solidarity with the Palestinian people. We remain steadfast in advocating for their self-determination and that of the Sahrawi people. We call on all member states to recognize the Palestinian statehood and act in solidarity with its people. We continue to appeal for an end to Israel's unlawful occupation, an end to the ongoing genocide, together with efforts to a permanent displacement of the Palestinian people in Gaza and the West Bank. Madam Vice President, as I conclude, South Africa is concerned about the attacks on special procedures, mandate holders in general, and Ms. Francesca Albanese, the special rapporteur on occupied Palestinian territory. In particular, the special procedures mandate holders play a key role in promoting and protecting human rights, and they must be protected by all member states. We must recognize that understanding is a precursor to peace. Let us not bequeath a legacy of prejudice and hatred to our children. I thank you.